I'd like to share my second tip on how to make connection and how to move the conversations to a warmer state or the interactions. And that would be to use vulnerability. So a lot of people, you ask a question, they ask you, how are you doing? And then you say, good, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm doing good. And I call that cool conversations. You're just cool, first of all, but they're also cold. Yeah. There's not much depth into them, and you really can't go anywhere with it because you already answered good. And so then that was a finite answer. And so what I do is, if I want to warm up that interaction, I actually share something more vulnerable, not crazy vulnerable, like I have cancer, something like that, which I don't, but I'm more real with my answer. So if somebody says, how are you? I say the truth. I might be like, well, I actually just had a fight with my mom and I'm thinking about it, something like that. Or I just share something more vulnerable. I remember I was at a coffee shop, and I think somehow, you're doing the dance of the sugar, and you're like, it's your turn, my turn. Anyways, and so I think I said something, and the person said, how are you? And I said, I'm actually doing something scary today, so I'm thinking about that. And he was like, oh, what? And I said, well, I'm pivoting my business to that, right? Yeah, I'm doing something scary. And then he started talking about, and we ended up having the whole coffee together and a whole conversation, where at the end he was like, I'm encouraged to write my own book. And I was like, you should, and it was very interesting. And that interaction is a complete stranger, but it's because of how you choose to answer the question. Yeah. And I do that all the time. I share more of myself, and what happens is new friendships develop, and the people that want to connect will answer in a different way. So one time somebody said, how are you? And I was saying, I'm feeling a little bit sad because I just talked to my mom and I had this, interaction. And then the person said, this deserves a phone call. And I was like, great, and we ended up becoming really good friends after that, because we were Facebook friends, and somehow we started chatting one day, and I decided to answer, how are you, differently. Yeah. And now I have this, really great friendship out of that, because I didn't just be like, I'm good. Yeah.
I love that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, so vulnerability. Vulnerability would be another way that you can get more connection. But there has some limits. Like if you go too deep, too fast, it actually will repel people. Like, I don't know you, why are you telling me this? And so you want to share, I usually share what's true in the moment that is appropriate or a little bit more real, but within the boundaries of, if I say something to somebody, like they won't run away or be like, oh, So it still has to be tactful.